NBA Finals tips off tomorrow, so we're bringing you two clips you're going to be watching right now, how the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to beat the Golden State Warriors. But before you, all of you in the comment section, right? Are you biased? Biased? In about an hour, how the Warriors will beat the Cleveland Cavaliers.
You should have put Golden State first, Jason, because they're the favorites. Biased?
Sir! So, how the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to beat the Golden State Warriors? Well, can it happen? Yes. And for a couple reasons as to why. Here's the first reason. You're dumb if you don't think it can happen. They're in the finals. Anything can happen in a 7-game series. And there's like everyone out there who writes on Twitter right after the Warriors come back to beat the Thunder in 7 games. Well, your 2015-2016 NBA champion Golden State Warriors. Retweets in favor. They can't. It's LeBron. He's 2-4 in the finals. You could be so wrong about that. You could be. You also could be so right about that. But if you're willing,
get more favorites and retweets.
If you're willing to just write that out, it just means you're not looking at any kind of objective stance.
We should not look at the NBA season this year. Oklahoma were not expected to beat the Spurs. OKC were not expected to take Golden State to Game 7. The fucking Portland Trailblazers were not expected to beat the Clippers. Anything can happen. That's what I've loved about this season. And the only team, by the way, you tweeting that, it's almost like you've just watched the West Conference and haven't even looked at the East. Say what you want about the East and it being shite or whatever, but there's only one team out of everyone that have done everything that they've been expected to do, and that's the Cleveland Cavs. They went on an unbelievable winning streak. Yes, Toronto pushed them a little bit further, but they still won, I would say, comfortably.
Demolished.
Sorry. So, like, if you're going to tweet out stuff like that, and it's not just you making that up. I seen those tweets as well.
It was immediately after the game. It was a trending hashtag. All right, so here's a couple reasons or a couple things I've looked at from the Cavs side of things. For one, and I get it, we're gonna say this now. Francis just did, and then we're gonna leave it in the past and not discuss it anymore for this clip. Yes, the Western Conference is more competitive than the Eastern Conference. It's been said. We move forward. Now let's look at the numbers themselves. Do you know who's shooting 30% better in the playoffs than the Golden State Warriors? That would be the Cleveland Cavaliers, 43.4% compared to the Warriors, 40.3%. 3-point shooting percentage, the one thing you would automatically think the Warriors would have an edge on. On top of that, the point differential and the rest to which the Cavs have been able to cruise through the Eastern Conference is a slight advantage. Let's not forget that they have LeBron James. This is an important note. LeBron James is a better player than Kevin Durant, and LeBron James is a better player than Russell Westbrook. There is no ifs, ands, buts, doubts about that. Historically, yes. Currently, yes. Actively, yes.
Statistically.
Is Kevin Durant a better scorer than LeBron James? Yes. But is LeBron James a better overall player, has a bigger impact on the game? Absolutely. That's going to cause a problem because last season, and I'm going to talk a lot about Andre Iguodala in the Warriors clip. Last season, LeBron had Kyrie Irving for 1 game, and don't forget who won that game. That would be the Cleveland Cavaliers. No Kevin Love, who, again, can play at a mediocre level at times, but with LeBron really coaching that team and Tyronn Lue's pace and space style of play that they've been really clicked in 15 games from the end of the season, those big three alone are going to cause mismatches. Kyrie on Steph Curry is a fantastic matchup. Doesn't really go either which way. Now, if Klay switches on to Kyrie, it might cause problems for Kyrie because Klay's a better defender than Steph Curry. Okay. In addition to all of that, Tristan Thompson, one of the best offensive rebounding specialists in the NBA, will keep possessions alive. But my biggest thing with this series as to how the Cavs will win, they have to take the Warriors' pace and make it come to a complete stop. LeBron slows down the game of basketball. He plays possession basketball. They can move in transition very fluidly, but LeBron's style of play that works, that wins a lot of the time, is to milk that shot clock and grind that small lineup down.
Dude, I feel like you're going to take their past games, right? You're going to take last year. You're going to try and differentiate what.
Keep in mind, 6-game series.
Yeah, 6-game series. But you're going to take the recent games, right? So you're going to, if I was anyone to look and see which team would look at the recent games and take maybe a little bit more positives from it, it would be the Cavs, because you have seen a unstoppable force literally be halted by an immovable object. OKC found a way to beat Golden State Warriors, found a way to nullify their ridiculous shooting percentage, found a way to just I would say put a stop to Steph Curry in certain games, certain points of certain games. And it was when they mismatch, they had certain mismatches. They put big men on him to try and frustrate him. They worked well with versatility in defense. They out-rebounded them. And they just did not let up. They did not give any possession without putting pressure on it. Now, that being said, you're not going to come. I don't think they're going to go in and play against Golden State and try and just immediately outscore them. They have outscored their opponents ridiculously well so far, Cleveland Cavs. But they have been so versatile with their attack that I think they're going to be able to take parts from what OKC did to beat Golden State and use that along with what they have done to beat their recent opponents, because they have ridiculous scoring and they have phenomenal athleticism and they have great all-round defense. I just think that it's going to come down to rebounding. It's going about playing big as well at certain points in the game is what OKC did so well. But again, it's whether or not if Steph and Clay go hot at certain points, there's not much you can do to try and stop that. So it's going to be a way to remain consistent and also hope that they don't get hot consistently and hope that they maybe freeze up a little bit as they did against OKC and take advantage of that.
This is part of the reason why I think Kyrie is going to be such an important player. Look, everyone's an important player. The bench is going to be a huge role too. So quickly I'll mention that Channing Frye has to keep the hot hand from three and be efficient off the bench. JR has to get his green light. JR could absolutely go shot for shot with the Warriors when he's on. When he's off, it is atrocious. But I don't think LeBron is going to give him as much green light leeway as he's had. So if JR's feeling it and he can get it hot, because if you look at the box score, JR has been taking roughly 10 threes a game. Those are also making up all of his shots.
Yes.
So he is part of this pace and space style of play. And the fact is that if he can get hot from the wing, or it can get hot from like deep outside, a perimeter, I should say at least, that's going to cause problems. Is it going to happen for 4 or 5 games in a row? No, that's not J.R. Smith. Can it happen for 2 straight games, especially on the road? It can, and that would be huge. But Kyrie Irving is going to be, I think, the absolute make or break for the Cavs, because Andre Iguodala causes a lot of problems for LeBron James. Never gets enough respect in the NBA until he won the Finals MVP. And when you look back on Andre Iguodala's career, he kind of is the perfect matchup for LeBron James. They're similar in size and stature. They are similar in athleticism. I mean, Andre has more wear and tear on him than LeBron, because LeBron's a freak of nature and never broke down. I don't know how that's possible. But he was a huge reason as to how the Warriors were to turn everything around down 2-1 in the finals last year. So if LeBron's going to get guarded by a guy who might be starting games 1 and 2, we don't know, or coming off the bench to just be that X factor against the game's best player, arguably second best player if you're going to count Curry, on the floor, then Kyrie's going to get more open looks, and he's got to hit that mid-range jumper. He's got to be able to drive and penetrate and attack the rim. The last X factor, I would say, if LeBron has a next level, this is where he has to show it. People talk about peaks during careers, right? I was just watching the '93 NBA Finals this morning against the Game 4 against the Phoenix Suns, Barkley's Suns, Jordan versus Barkley. Jordan was shooting 9 of 13 2 minutes into the second quarter in a tie game with 20 points. I'm not saying LeBron has to channel his inner Jordan, but Jordan was doing that by attacking the rim, right? And was not missing, getting to the line. We know LeBron can do that. He has to know exactly where his shot is if he's going to take the mid-range or the three. Because if he's 50% from there, I actually could see the Cavs winning this in six games. That's the next level LeBron needs to take. Because you can't stop a contested jump shots can still go in. And if LeBron can get his down over an Andre Iguodala, that's a huge factor.
So to kind of conclude and remain with
for 45 minutes.
Because we've still got to do the Golden State side of it, because we kind of mix and match. So I think that's a crucial point. So Andre Iguodala played 43 minutes in his last game, and it's no surprise to me that Golden State won that game and they were better defensively. Andre Iguodala is a phenomenal defensive player. So my question to you is, if he is to play that amount of minutes and be used more so than what he has been recently, because he will, by the way, because this is where he does come alive. How did the Cavs potentially work around that? How did the Cavs go to find Kevin Love on those mismatches? Like, because when we see Kevin Love on a mismatch, because I imagine Iguodala is going to guard LeBron, how does he use that to his advantage to maybe free up someone like Kevin Love?
Love has to play, in a weird way, smaller than he is, right? They're going to talk about the Cavs going big with Kevin Love in the lineup, and that's for the rebounding aspect of these matchups. But if Love has to find a way to, like he's been doing throughout this, throughout the playoffs, slip away sneakily, slip away from his man and get out on the wing to really create more space. Because again, LeBron's going to drive on everybody. Iguodala can contest a drive, but it's really tough to stop it. And after enough time, he's going to get fouled. You can't stop. Everybody's going to get beat in a game, in a series, no matter what. It's going to happen.
But the odds of you getting beat against LeBron are very high.
Or higher. So Iguodala, if he's going to be playing 43 minutes in starting roles, it's going to take a lot out of him. Can he keep that up for 4, 5, 6, 7 games? Or will LeBron James eventually be too physical for him to handle? He wasn't last year. Will he find something different this year? LeBron will still be able to be effective against Iguodala. He just won't be the most effective player on the floor. When we get to the Warriors, I want to talk also about how Steve Kerr has the ability to throw more curveballs and is the better coach in this situation. But
More curveballs.
Fantastic question. Kevin Love has to slip away and find the wing, get his three-point shot down, and when he's called on to play big, he needs to get those hands. Do not be dropping passes. Do not be pulling Andrew Bogut with your man claws and just dropping everything on the ground.
Did you hear my joke? Throws more curveballs.
Curveballs.
Curveballs. Steve Curveballs.
Oh, that's really good. I'm sorry.
Curveball.
You want to say it again?
Hey, maybe Steve Kerr will throw more curveballs.
Comment below. If the Cavs win this series, how many games are they going to win this series in? I think if the Cavs are winning this series, I would hope it would be in 6 on their home court, but I think realistically, if the Cavs win, it's in 7 in Golden State. That's if they win. Predictions for the other side coming. What, Francis?
Shortly.
Francis said Cavs in 4.
I was going to say my prediction from the next clip.
Oh.
Tease you. Come on. Come on, doggy.